there's going to be a massive breakout in the United States. It's like, that's not how viruses work. It's like, it would have happened by now. You know,
Right.
I've flown on planes, and they've recently, very recently, to where like I was leaving England, and that was a question they asked me: have you been to China in the last 2 weeks? It's like, yeah, that's not how a lockdown works. It's like, if you really thought that China was the origin country, you'd lock down the planes everywhere. And once you, as you know, I mean, we've all seen the movies. I don't get into it too much because we're running out of time here before the segment. If you've seen the movies, once it gets to the first airport, that's it. Watch Contagion. Watch 12 Monkeys. Watch The Stand. Watch every virus movie that we've ever seen, we've ever done. Andromeda Strain. Everyone we've ever done always says viruses travel so amazingly fast. And once it gets into an airplane, it's over. That's it. It's a sealed container. Everybody gets it, and then when they land, the whole airport gets it, and all the other planes get it, and it's it. It's over.
Yes, it seems like another big
Scare tactic.
mass media scare tactic. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought so too initially. There was just another fear beat. The problem is they're tying it to the stock market right now, which is, I mean, I literally watched it today.
I saw that today.
Yeah.
I did see that today. Yeah.
Yeah, they're basically saying as long as the coronavirus is out there, the stock market's going to go down, which, as you can imagine, would freak out a lot of people. I watched Fox News. I mean, literally the market was down like 830 points at the time with like 30 minutes to the bell. And they literally had above the numbers, it said coronavirus sell-off. It's like, really? Not only you're going to literally say this huge dip in the market, you're gonna attribute to a single thing, and you're just going to keep doing that. And so, yeah, I mean, could the coronavirus be part of some longer term? It just feels different. It feels weird. And the fact they're telegraphing everything in such slow motion. I mean, coronavirus has now been out like a month. I'm sorry, if this was the movies, we'd all be dead. Like now. That's not how virus, even the Spanish flu, back when things moved a lot slower and we didn't even have airplanes when the Spanish flu came out. Even that didn't take this long. You know, it spread through the cities like wildfire. And you always knew something. And sorry, one more thing I got to point out here. You know, when I watch this, and I challenge anybody, please send me links if you get a chance. When I look through the news stories, you know, I absorb all media, or as much as I can anyway. And I keep seeing stories on coronavirus. And you keep expecting to see stuff like you see with plane crashes and train crashes and stuff like that, where faces of the victims, faces of this flight, faces of this, right? You always see the people, right? You always see the people. Mm-hmm. You know, a nice cross section of, you know, white and black and men and women and, you know, people with glasses and people with not glasses, you know, happy photos. And you don't see any of that. I only see photos of Asian people in masks, in groups, and they're not dead. They're just walking around. That's all you see. You see numbers. That's what we see here. The coronavirus seems to be right now just numbers. It is countries and cases within those countries. Not to quote Blazing Saddles, even though it's a very quotable thing, but where are all the white people at? Where are they? If you know full well, if it hits a school, if the coronavirus hits a school and any kid comes down, if a single kid dies in a school in the United States, it's straight out of Contagion. Every mother would pull their child, not just in that county, but probably that state. No one would go to school in that state, and probably some neighboring states as well. Maybe a 3 or 4, 5 state radius. If that happened, it would. Mothers would do that. And
hey, I'm a mom. I would be like, yeah, y'all can stay home for a while.
Absolutely. And we haven't seen any of that. We haven't seen it's like, oh, you say victims here. Who? Where? Where are these victims? And why aren't there a lot more of them? I'm sorry. The numbers they're releasing are so meager, so feebly low.
Yeah.
They just defies. It's like, look, we're losing more people in car crashes on a given week than we are from this thing. So where is it? What exactly is it doing? Sorry, this frustrates me. I know they're doing it because the public is slow on the uptake. It's kind of like the saying I've heard recently, which is dumb movies for dumb people. But that's what it kind of is. It's like they have to slow down the news so much that the general public understands it. It's like, hey, there's there's something out there. It's a virus. Hope it doesn't hit America. Like, what? Seriously, that's what they're thinking. It's like, what are you talking about? If you're reading this on the web, it's already hit. It's everywhere. If the you should, those final newspapers. Again, watch Contagion, watch 12 Monkeys, read The Stand. That's how it works. I mean, The Stand, Stephen King's brilliant book from the early 80s, where once it got out of the military base, once it hit that first airport, it was over. You can't catch it at that point. It's too fast. By the time you land, you've infected that plane and the entire airport. Once you've infected one airport, that's it. I mean, you've seen the spread patterns for airports. Everybody goes everywhere. I mean, especially if it's like once that first international airport, I don't care where it is. Ugh, sorry, it's so frustrating. I know I'm getting jacked up, but at the same time, Trump also asked for $2 billion for the CDC. And it's like, okay, if you're asking for $2 billion, a little chunk of change, and the CDC comes out and says, oh, it's only a matter of time that when it's going to, quote unquote, hit the U.S., when it's going to break out in the U.S. And it's like, again, the general public doesn't understand. It's like, that's not how viruses work. It just doesn't. They follow the people. And once the virus hits a major city, that's it. It goes everywhere. And once it hits a major airport, it goes everywhere. And it goes very, very, very quickly. I mean, air travel has changed. It's different from the days, where we had, the plague. It's different. Things don't move slowly. They move at 600 miles an hour. And you can't, and since you don't know, when this thing, if you can't get ahead of it, and you can't because the incubation period of any virus takes a little while, even the flu takes a while, you've got too many people. And we've been talking about this for years and years and years. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, think of it like the stomach virus. I mean, we've all had the stomach virus, right? You're going out both ends. It may hit a county over, but eventually it's going to hit you. You know it's coming. Yeah. And it sucks.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh,
I mean, coronavirus is not sarin. It's not sarin gas from the movie The Rock with Nick Cage and who was it?
Sean Connery.
What was his name?
Sean Connery.
That's it. So it's not
Harris
super deadly to everybody.
Yeah. It's also, look, remember the Spanish flu did 2 trips around. It hit all the countries first, then mutated, and then came back through again. And it's like in this case, and there was a lot less people back then. Did we even have 2 billion back then in 1918? Somebody just look up the population chart. But if it hit now, I'm sorry, there's just too many people for it to not go everywhere and there's so much international travel. There's so many people flying, just freaking everywhere. So quarantine. I saw the travel alerts because I was looking up international travel stuff, and all these countries are saying, "Oh yeah, if you've been into China in the last 2 weeks, we're not letting you in." I'm going, if you've been to China, you're already in your country. Sealing off the borders now does nothing. Does absolutely nothing. If they were really serious, they, again, not to beat a dead horse here, watch Contagion, which was done by I think wasn't that a Soderbergh movie? It's about as realistic as it gets, and that was not only did they seal off the ports and seal off international travel, but every state was like they were on their own. Governors took control. It's like, yeah, we're sealing off the freaking border. Nobody gets in in or out, or if you leave, you're not coming back. For on a state by state basis, governors freak out and they call the CDC. It's like, what should the hell we do? But here's last thing. Sorry, I got to mention this, which is the thing you got to look for. Here's the big difference between even now and 30 years ago is social media, which is there's degrees of separation. We've always heard the 6 degrees of separation, also known as the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, which I think is funny. Which is somebody that knows 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 Kevin Bacon, and that's absolutely true. I mean, I've seen it many times. You can't even go 4 degrees nowadays. But here's the deal with that, which is because of social media, we would have heard. Do like you and Karen here? Have you heard of anyone? Do you know anyone that knows anyone that has this thing? No.
No.
No, I don't either.
And, no, I was going to ask Karen, because Karen, you got social media, Twitter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. I peeked at mine this morning, and it said that WHO in Thailand has cases now, and I said, okay, wait a minute, isn't Eric Dubé in Thailand? Oh, so I tagged him. I did the @ Eric Dubé.
He's probably already dead. Somebody start that rumor. Eric Dubé died of coronavirus. But
he might be listening serious. Right now. He could call in.
I haven't even seen on the news where somebody knows somebody that knows somebody that's on Twitter that has it or has died from it. It's statistically, sorry, it's pushing the limits of what social media should be reporting, and it's not. You're saying that, oh, well, it's just a blind luck that we're not seeing any of these things. Like, no, where are these people? Find somebody on YouTube that's on there saying, yeah, I have it, and things start looking too good, I had a family member that died, or I had a friend of a friend that died. We're just not seeing that yet. It's just numbers right now. They're just throwing out, oh, there's cases in Iran. There's cases in Taiwan. There's cases in Chile and South Korea. Really? Where? All you're showing me is numbers. You're not showing me anything. Show me a hospital bed. Show me somebody that talked to somebody that. Sorry, there's no sense of. I'm getting all worked up again. I don't know what's wrong with me today. Which is there's no sense of urgency at all. It's just like, oh yeah.
Oh, I know.
It's here and it's there, and we should be ready for it. It's like, ready how exactly? All of a sudden, one day you're going to lock down the the border of the United States.
I know. That's the thing. They sorry.
They're treating it.
It's just saying that the CDC says they don't have a cure yet for it, and like as a father, I got 3 children. One has autism. He has asthma, bad asthma, and no parent wants to see their kid go before them.
Yeah,
that's my thing. I'm not going to take it lightly.
Yeah, and Peanut Gallery is quick to point out here that we're averaging what 1.7 billion people flying a day. And that's just in a single day that are flying, and they're flying in all different directions. I'm sorry. You're going. Look, I'm going to criticize the people that are writing this garbage. For whoever's writing this, you're going against the movie rules on this one, and that is the public. You have no science. You have no documentary movies. You have no science fiction movies. You have no movies to reference, to anchor the public's consciousness to with this. You're doing this. You're just making this one up as you go along, and it's driving me nuts. It's like,